out here on YouTube. How's everybody? It's Tuesday here in everything but sunny South Florida. Man, today was a crappy day. Uh, yeah, it was just out here on YouTube. How's everybody? It's Tuesday. There we go. All right, give me 2 seconds. Let us dive into here. Throw this out there, and we will get started. Bam. Oh, actually, hold on. Wrong. There we go. Cool. All righty. Let's see. Let me throw this chat out here. Yeah. So use that formula in Excel, and if you just go to that, like my trade journal video that's on YouTube, you'll know where to plug it in. Essentially, just the only thing you got to move is like the rows and columns on that data. That's the only thing you got to move. Okay. So we'll dive into it here. All right, cool. Let's do this. Let's get over to trading view. All right, let's see. How do we use the formula? Yeah, I'll tell you what, I have a video, that way I'm not here for 5 hours tonight. I have a video on YouTube. Just watch the journaling video. Yeah. The playlist, man, I don't know. So it's my Spotify, and I guess I've just been compiling, I don't know, it's my liked songs. And I don't know, whenever Spotify came out, that's when I started doing it. Let's see. Did you? All right, cool. Yeah, I wanted to give, like I threw it out in the Discord. I wanted everybody to, if you wanted something to do this weekend, Euro Odd by far was the killer setup of, actually Euro Odd and Euro NZD. Most of us during the week, that's what we were looking at, and yeah, just phenomenal entries. If you guys saw, I'm in no rush of getting into entries, so I'm doing pretty well. I'm up pretty good percent for the month, and obviously paid out on EA and EN, as well as some of the other stuff I'm holding. What's up, man? How's everything? But I'm glad you got to back test it. I saw a lot of people actually watch the video. It's something I haven't been able to do because of, my schedule with volleyball and everything else. So I'm glad people were able to watch it. I saw a bunch of the comments on there, and yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully you guys learn from it. I'm currently holding total 4 positions on EA. I mean, they're all whatever, some nice R to R's I've partialed out. So we'll kind of go through there as well. I get fuzzy about it and like to learn. Okay, cool. Yeah. Don't worry about asking questions. There's a lot of people that ask questions. So, same disclaimer. I'm going to try and not do a 3-hour Zoom tonight, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Let's hold on. I got to get into night mode here for a second, just because my office is kind of dark. You took EA2? Yeah, man. Awesome. Yeah, very good job. And all right, let's dive into it. Let's go. I got everything open here. I got my water. I'm all set. And here, let me close out Spotify. Let me close out MT5. And boom. All right, we're golden. That is all she wrote. All right, let's get started. I'm going to go down my watch list. I'm going to go down everything I'm kind of holding. And, what I'm looking for. Again, I'm going to be extremely selective going into the end of the month. I'm up pretty nice for the month. I'm, holding some really good trades, and, we'll see how that goes. All right, let me just see. All right, for now, this is good. Chef JPY, nothing's really changed on Chef JPY. I mean, obviously you can see what's going on here, right? We've got a decent, we've got a pretty decent accumulation that is starting from like an intraday perspective. And I kind of like what I'm seeing out of it, so we'll kind of, get to the bottom of what is going on with, give me a second, let me close that out. And let's see, do I use my FX book for what? Yeah. You mean for like news? Tracking? No, 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 no. Yeah, I used to a long time ago, but no, I created like a Excel spreadsheet, and like some people have told me that it's pretty useful. Um, yeah, I use a spreadsheet. I kind of just added a bunch of stuff to it, and it gives me a lot of analytical data. The problem with using like something that you sync your broker account to is, what do you do with your data? Like, and that was the problem I had. Like, um, do you go back and review all of your charts? Do you go back and look at your entries, see if you can make them better? Look at your losses, see what happened with them. Um, do you have all of that? Is all of that in your repertoire of looking at at looking at that stuff? And then more importantly, for me, I want something that I specifically can keep from over trading. And how do I keep myself from over trading? I got to journal every trade I take. So I got to manually put in all the credentials. So when you are if you're in a rut and you're not seeing consistency, I guarantee you after the 40th trade that you've lost of inputting it and taking screenshots and stuff, you're going to go back and you're going to ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? And ultimately try to figure out what you're doing wrong with it. So that's my spiel. I'll get off the soapbox. All right. Yeah. No, I keep track of my equity curve, keep track of all that. Yeah. How do you master your, I'm guessing psychology. How do I master the psychology when I'm taking a 1 to 50 risk to reward? Well, I mean, it's like, once you understand, again, like being a good being a good trader, you first got to be a good market analyst. You got to know what's going on with the market, right? So, like EA, we'll just real quick, we'll just touch on EA, right? So the entries, that I'm looking at, why am I going to take profit and close out of the trade when we get here, when I got in there, right? When I know pretty darn, with some degree of certainty that we're going to, since we've invalidated this redistribution and taken out supply, we could see, it was funny because I don't remember who I told this to. Somebody asked me, it's like, what's my next partial out area? And I said 1.6100 is where I'm taking it to. And damn, I mean, we came to 1.6100 exactly. But supply, right? We're coming into supply. My next area, right in here. Why am I going to close these trades if I know eventually we are coming into here, into this massive redistribution that happened here? So I've got 800 pips to go. That's how I master it, because I've got, I don't know, at this point I probably got like 6,000 charts worth of back testing and everything that tells me, if I can position myself in these high probability setups, this is where price is going to go. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Experience. For Chef JPY on the intraday schematic that's forming, can we start looking for entries? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would. Here's the thing, right? Though, with Chef JPY, and I don't know if I want to play out of here yet. I'm looking. These are 2 points that I'm going to be looking at out of here, and I personally, I like EJ a little better, and I like AJ a little better. But yeah, I mean, we're starting here, right? I mean, we've got our climax, a test, and we got another test here. Here's your AR. So we haven't broken any order flow yet. If you guys remember last week, I was saying that I wanted JPY crosses to come a little lower. So we're there. I know I haven't looked at it, but I know every other JPY cross has created a schematic. And yeah, I mean, it's just not clean. It's not clean yet. We haven't broken structure. Are you into fundamentals? So I am into fundamentals. Yeah, absolutely. But understand that the fundamental is the reason for price to go to its intended location. So what I mean by that is, what I mean by that here, I'll give you a great analogy here. So we come up to silver, right? Let's just go to silver on the daily time frame. right? From a fundamental perspective, does anybody have, not a fundamental, from a technical perspective, anybody have any doubt in their mind that we eventually will need to come back into this spring and mitigate out before we can go and take out this area of distribution, right? Does anybody have any doubt in their mind? Now, I can't tell you how long it's going to take to get there. I can't tell you when it's going to happen. But I can tell you with almost absolute certainty that we will come back into this large, higher time frame schematic, right? Here's our climax, here's our AR, here's our secondary test, here's our test in B, here's our spring, right? And obviously, sign of strength, potentially this may even work itself into being what, a reaccumulation with the creek, and then we tackle into some supply up here. All right. So, will there be some fundamental reason to do that? Sure. Just like this here happened, COVID, right? The pandemic caused this fundamental reason to happen. But realistically, this was going to happen anyway. I mean, it was set up for that. So now, there's going to be something fundamentally, whether it's something that's going to do very in a short amount of time, or it's going to be long and drawn out, something's going to cause us to come back into 50% of that push, which is why, however long it takes, that's why I got this alert sitting right here, start buying silver, right? Physical metal, like I'll be, I bought all in here. I bought physical metal. When we get back in here, I'll start buying more physical metal because eventually, I know that we will tap into this supply point up here. We're going to get, potentially back up into the, high 30s and 40s. So, all right, that's what I got to say about fundamentals. Yeah, news is the excuse. Isn't that a reaccumulation on Chef JPY? A reaccumulation on Chef JPY. A reaccumulation on Chef JPY. Talking about like, right, talking about this right here. Yeah, if that's what you're talking about, that's the reaccumulation. Yeah, that's the area I want us to get into. Okay. What's good, man? How's it going? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So reaccumulation, absolutely. Yeah, that's my targets. So that's why I'm a little hesitant about looking for a potential buy out of this right now. So it is what it is. I'm still holding the buy from down here. Obviously I've taken all the partials I wanted to take out of it. Now I got that one order that I'm just going to hold on to. All right. So really nothing much to say about Chef JPY other than when we get down, if we get down into this point of interest over here, that's the first area, sub like 118,600. That's where I'm going to be looking for potential buys. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen, right? We don't need to come that low. We can see that, like I said, we have a schematic, right? Doesn't need to be a type 1, right? We can potentially take off from here, get a sign of strength, come back in for an LPS entry and go higher, right? So, that being said, I'm Chef JPY isn't very, very high on my list. Just because I prefer AJ out of the yen crosses, I prefer AJ and I prefer EJ. Okay. Now listen, EA is doing fantastic. So, I'm up pretty good. I think this one here was at a 1-87. The two entries from way down here were at a I don't even know. Like one was at a 1 to 113. The other was at a 1 to 74. And the one from Friday was at a 1 to like, what is that, 51 or something like that. So my next area, you can kind of see where we're at. I was potentially looking for a hedge out of here. And you can kind of see, like I was looking at it yesterday, I was looking at it today, but damn, I mean, yes, we did trade above, right? But I wanted a better up, a UTAD. Definitely wanted something better. And then, obviously we broke structure. We did come back into a point of interest, but, especially early in the week, if I'm going to take a hedge, it's got to be one like refrigerator worthy, picture perfect type 1 distribution for me to get into it. Okay. So that being said, like I had my eyes on this reaccumulation, right? You could see the distro 3 drives, what do you got? 1 drive, 2 drives down, right? So we have a reaccumulation that kind of goes into a distro. So I was keeping my eye, on this area here to see how we reacted. And then obviously if we did make a new high out of here, potentially, my bias would change on whether or not I wanted to hedge it. All kidding aside, like I honestly just want us to come lower. I want us to come into this area. This has got my eye, I personally want us to come down around, it specifically either, into this reaccumulation right here. This is where I want us to come into. So if we can get into that reaccumulation, that'd be great. Realistically, I want to see that happen maybe like late London, early New York session, and then of course, work a position in here to take it higher. Okay. Does that, yeah. That's kind of what I'm going to, ideally try to play out of. All right. Can you, what reaccumulation? This one here? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, here, hold on. We won't go too crazy, but let's just go down to like, let's go to a 1 minute. So here's your distro, right? 1, 2, 3 drives. All right. And then what do we get? We get 1 drive, 2 drives, right? There's your accumulation. So there's your creek. And then ultimately what do we get? We get break of structure, right? Break of structure or a new high, depending on, where you are, because it doesn't always need to break structure if you're still bullish, and then jump across the creek. There's checkbox, right? And then this is the mitigation, right? So I haven't measured it, but I'm guessing, just spitballing, that price came into 50% of our, shakeout. So this entire push is the shakeout. We come into 50%. Not only that, but we come into the open, right? We come into the open of the spring essentially, or the shakeout itself that snags liquidity. Okay. Yeah. Hold on. What you got here, bro? Let's see. Oh, EJ. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I'm looking at the same thing, bro. Yeah. Look at that 90-minute candle. Take a look at that 90-minute candle. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Isn't that, you're talking about like, is this reaccumulation within this accumulation? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. You got it, man. You got it. So just know, if you understand that the reaccumulations are continuation moves, you kind of, you're the 248 minute. Yeah. We'll take a look at that, bro, when we get over there. So ideally this is what I'm looking at, right? I want us to come into this area right here. So is Wyckoff a definitive confirmation for you? So I mean, I wouldn't say definitive. I would say that it holds a tremendous amount of water in my like area of trading. I would say that structure, it's everything. It's the culmination, right? It's structure, it's understanding supply and demand, understanding the schematic within the point of interest, understanding the cause and effect of whatever price has done. How can you tell when orders need to be mitigated? So do you understand why orders need to be mitigated? Let me know. If you can understand why orders need to be mitigated, then it's a very simple answer, right? The answer is this: if this was our shakeout, right? If I know the candle, if I can identify the candle that has completed the shakeout, then I know that 100% of the time price needs to at least come into the open of the candle, right? Ideally, what I like to see is 50 or 80% of that candle be mitigated. All right. So obviously if we tap into the 50 and we take off, then candle's been mitigated. Right. So that's ideally, yeah, structure's king. So that smart money can reclaim capital, just a guess. It's not that they can reclaim capital. It's just so they can close out of their opposite position, right? You know, I mean, just remember, like a recap, you know, if you haven't watched the Wyckoff intro, just take a peep at it. But just remember, like, the whole reason why this happens is they're filling orders here. They're filling buy orders. Then they have to sell down so they can fill more buy orders. Then they have to sell down so they can fill more buy orders. And then ultimately, the reason they sweep the liquidity isn't to like take my money. They don't care about my money. All they care is that if there's $100 million worth of stop losses, which is what a sell order, that means that in this push right here, they can fill $100 million, right, worth of their buy orders. That's all they want. So, you know, why do we get type 2 schematics, right? Why? Because price, they don't need to fill orders down here, because in this area right here was the last order that they had to fill. You know, they didn't have any more liquidity to put into this particular setup. So that's why we get a type 2. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, listen, my 30, 40 lots doesn't mean anything to their, I mean, to their billions of dollars. So they don't care about my money. Mm-hmm. All right. So EA, again, I'm just waiting in here. You know, ideally now, you know, I don't really care about this price action. It's pretty simple. We're either going to come down there or we're going to do this. We're going to make a new high. We make a new high. I'll figure out whatever price action happens in here where I'm going to play out of. Okay. Let's see. What signs would you indicate a type 2 schematic is more likely to play out? Here, again, that's going to be experience and back testing are going to be your answer to that, right? But I can tell you, for me, two things I need. I need a break of structure, and I need an exit of the trading range, which is equal to a major sign of strength or weakness, depending if it's a distribution, right? So the problem with that is this is very subjective, you know? So, you know, most of you guys know that if I miss out on a lot of trades because I don't take a lot of type 2s, right? Why don't I take a lot of type 2s? Because my journal tells me that I'm a badass trader on a type 1 schematic. I'm not so good on a type 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. So, you know, my journal tells me that, Mike, if you get a type 1 schematic on a Thursday or Friday, you have a pretty damn good chance of making a huge payday. So why do I look for anything else? You know? So yeah, I mean, do I take type 2s? Yes. You know, am I, you know, do I have am I 100% correct on it? No. Listen, I'm only a 50% trader anyway. Like I know I'm going to lose 50% of my trades no matter what. So it's reducing that 50% losses. It's reducing the equity that I put on the line, and that is what makes the difference. So, they need to free up liquidity to fill their orders. They need to free up liquidity to fill their orders. No, I mean, they're just filling up. They're just filling their orders, right? I mean, on a hedge, they can hedge all day long, you know, because same thing like you. Like if you put one lot buy, one lot sell, your margin, right, is essentially negative, right? There's no margin being taken up because you're in both positions. So if that kind of makes sense. All right. So Mike, if they've made the spring, they've sold off to buy. So that sell is in drawdown. If it only comes back to 50%, then they close their order at a loss. No, they won't, because think about it. Like, let's just say here, let's just look at EJ, right? So hold on, Wanda, what did you say? 238? Is that what you said? 238 on this? Is that what you said? Hold on. Let me look it back up here, bro. 248. 248. Yeah, bro, that's a good candle, man. I like it. How does it line up with that 90 though? Oh, it's not too different. Yeah, man, I like it. Hold on, come on, 90. There we go. Yeah, that's what I was playing, the 90. Either way, I mean, I'm not putting a limit on it because the 90-minute 80% is like 20 something pips, 21 pips. You're out of your mind if I'm ever going to take a 21 pip stop loss. Yeah. So, all right, let's just play this, right? So hold on. Hold on. Yeah. So here, if we're going to look at it like this, right? Here's our, right? So what's been done in all of this, orders being filled, right? So if now we know that this is essentially where they initiated their sell. That's why I look for the full volume candle, right? This is where they started their sell. So when they sell down and they turn around, and we can see that this is where the most volume of buy orders comes in and they engulf it. When they do this right there, that could potentially be what? Closing out of their sell. So they hit break even on the sell, right? Now, the reason 50 and 80 is because these bastards are greedy, right? They don't want to close out break even. They want to close out in profit. So when you see price come back down into the 50 or the 80, their sell position is actually closing out in profit. And then that allows them to fill the last remaining orders that they have to go higher. So that's why I said, if we identify the candle correctly, right, we know, in a perfect example, here's a perfect damn example. Happened to me this morning. I missed out on a US 30 trade, right? Perfect example is this. Let's go lower time frame. Let's go. Okay, here you go. Right? US 30. They left me in the wind, man. Left me in the wind. Right? We know that this is where what? This was this is market open 9:30, right? So this was to what? This was to induce buyers, because trust me, I'm in some of these groups and I sometimes laugh. There's people that I know that truly trade like this. They wait for the 9:30 bell, market open New York Stock Exchange. When they see green, they hit buy by market, right? And that's what this was intended to do, right? Induce buyers. So we know that this is where what? They sold down. We know then what they turned around and bought. And this is what mitigated. So am I looking for any of this to get filled in? Nope, absolutely not. Right? For me, this was the mitigation. How do I know? Because the damn thing just took off for like 300 points, So yeah, hopefully that kind of answers it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's it's not that they're losing position. It's just listen, if you don't know this, so institutions are required by law to file every single trade that they've taken in the year, and it's fiscal year. So that's why like the middle of September, I kind of stopped trading for a week or two because, October 1's the new fiscal year. Yeah, they don't really take a lot of losses, and the losses they do take are strategically placed. It's essentially just, transferring money from one hand to the other. That's all they're doing. So, but yeah, hopefully that makes sense. All right. And before someone asks, the whole 1580, I'll tell you right now, just backtest it, right? I mean, that's something that took me about a year. And, I just started really putting things together and I was like, well, damn it. I think I've uncovered a clue. And sure enough, that's what it was, 50 to 80%, how am I going from a 21 pip stop loss all the way down to a 2 to 3 pip, like on EJ? EJ, I'm just going to wait for a schematic down there. So yeah, EJ, I'm going to wait for a schematic. All right, hold on. Son of a gun. Let me try to catch up. I like the confluence on the 80% candle. It's yeah. Do I have the 31 marked out? What do I got? Yeah. I thought I had the 31 marked out. Yeah, but I like it. I like that in there. The only problem is, like I said, it's a 22 pip stop. So that's why I'm waiting for an accumulation in there. So what about the other candles lower? They only came into the first candle, or is that a one candle one time? Yeah, it's all confluence, right? So just remember, like this up here, right? This is where they started their sell. So do they have to, like this right here could have been the mitigation. How do we know it's going to be the mitigation? Because they're just going to take off. They're not going to come back to mitigate it. Okay. Mike, would you say institutions? No, they don't use MetaTrader 4. Heck no, man. Heck no. No, institutions don't. Institutions have their own line, man. They use they're actually on the order book. So that's why, if you've heard of like algorithm trading, that's what they use, right? They essentially, I mean, this is what my mentor taught me, right? Let's just say you're trading EJ and you're the institution that's compiling this, right? How do they compile this? Well, they say, okay, I have $156 million and I want to buy at 128,800. I want to buy EJ. So they put 156 million at 128,800. And now the computer, right, the algorithm that the institution has access to the order book on the actual foreign exchange market. And what it's doing is it's computing essentially a diagram, or it's filling in orders based off of where the order books are, right? Just remember, like for every $1 of buy orders, you need a $1 of sell orders, right? So the computer is actually designing this schematic. That's why the schematics work. It's all based off of that algorithm. All right. No. I don't stop until January, bro. No. October 1. Yeah. It's just that 2-week period, right? Because, like I said, it's the end of the fiscal year. So traders are closing out their books. They have to, by law, I think it's November 1st, they have to report all of their trades to the SEC and stuff. So they're closing out their books and they're getting their new portfolio, like their new funding comes to them October 1 through the institutions. So, most of these guys and gals, right? I mean, they're by like September 15th, they're done. They know exactly what their Christmas bonus, because they get a percentage of their profits, right? They're going to exactly what their Christmas bonus is going to be. They're not going to put anything in jeopardy on that, right? They're not going to try to, work. It's all about working smarter, not harder. So yeah, so I kind of shut it down. I just noticed that the last 3 years, that middle of September, they kind of go into autopilot mode, just like this summertime, we get some low volatility because a lot of these guys are out traveling. You mean 50 and 80% levels, or 50 and 80? No. 50% and 80% of the candle. Odd CAD. We can look at all CAD. See a huge accumulation. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there is. I like NZD CAD though. Oh yeah. NZD CAD. Yeah, I got it on my radar. We'll go over it. I have a schematic within it. Yeah, it doesn't always, but it always has. Here's an example. Right here. Well, damn it. All right, hold on, man. I already know my wife's going to kill me. This thing's going to be 3 hours long. All right. Here's an example, right? We know that GU, right? Reaccumulation. This is the shakeout portion of the reaccumulation. I don't know if we can go that low because this happened back in February. I'd have to pull up my journal, but we know that that price came in. Oh shoot, here you go. Look, I had this marked out. We know that this 50% came in here. You're in this? All right, cool. There's the 8-minute, there's the 7-minute. It's all the same damn candle. The 6-minute, the 5-minute. I should look up like the February Zoom call I did. But anyway, I had this 50% marked up since February 4th, right? And what happened? Lo and behold, GU comes in. All right. Now I'll tell you this. So I am not in this on any of my accounts except for my FX Choice account that I have a little bit of money in. So yeah, I didn't even know this position was still active on it. So, all the other positions I had, I guess the time on them just, they just, I don't know if they were canceled or if I canceled them a while ago, but anyway, so I'm in on like 5 lots on my small FX Choice account, but no schematic, right? There was no schematic presented here. All right. See, I mean, nothing. There's no schematic. I mean, yeah, no, there's none. All right. I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe we can see like a fractal. Hold on. Maybe like on the 15-second. Yeah, no, that's just garbage. So yeah, no. So no schematic. All right. But yeah, price comes in. And what was the reason of this? Well, this was to mitigate this position way back in February. Okay. So You may not always get a schematic, but it's always going to mitigate something out of a schematic, if that makes sense. And is always going to come back and reach for an area that they need to close out of drawdown, right, in a demand zone, or supply is going to have to do the same in a supply zone. All right, let's see. Are you looking to play the buy and the reaccumulation on SPX? The buy, I don't know. We'll look at SPX in a little bit, but yeah, we'll look at it. I see early legit break of structure as price taps into a demand zone. However, it turns into a full schematic later on and takes me out. Am I supposed to anticipate it? So this is something that you'll have to, I guess, develop in your trading plan. I can tell you this, that I personally do not take 1, 5, 15, in my case, I just call it lower time frame breaks of structure. I don't take an entry based off a lower time frame break of structure. What I do is we either break lower time frame structure to the upside. So in this case here, right, like if this didn't present a accumulation for me to get into, I'm not taking an entry on GU until we invalidate the redistribution, meaning we trade above what is maintaining our lower time frame structure, right? In that case, now, depending on what happens down here, or maybe like a slingshot here that causes that, and it's a reaccumulation, maybe that's where I'll start looking for an entry, all right? But that's just me. That's something that when I was, when I back tested, when I demo traded, when I went through and developed my personal rules for how I'm going to trade, that's something that I found was very instrumental in, one, maintaining a decent margin availability, but also maintaining an uptrend in my equity curve. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Bro, you're going to be up till 6. Listen, man, I hear you, bro. I hear you. I looked at the exact area ages ago, Mike. Would you consider that limit order within the extreme? Yeah, it is. It is. So, and here's the problem. Like I was talking to, I think Eric, I don't know if Eric's on, but I was telling Eric this in our chat. So here's my issue with GU. Like, is this a true break of structure? Right? Is it a break of structure? Yes. Is it a new leg? Right? And that's the question. Is it a new leg? And I just don't know the answer. For me, if I have to second guess it, you know what I do? I just sit back and watch. And I don't know. I know for sure, right? I know for sure this is a supply point, right? I know for sure distribution, right? I know for sure redistribution. So yeah, I mean, all of this could have just been a whole lot of just useless noise, So, when in doubt, I'm just going to sit back and watch it. Okay. So the POI is always, yes, POI is always a schematic, because the schematic always does what? The schematic, if you look at it, there is a schematic everywhere, right? You just have to be able to train your eye to see it, yeah. Any advice for selecting the correct point of interest? Always go back to cause and effect, right? What did that point of interest do? Did it create a new high or a new low? If it didn't, then to me, it's not a point of interest. All right. I like looking, market extremes to points of interest are always key, but just keep in mind, they don't always come to the extremes, right? They come to that slingshot area, which is what I call it. All right. Do I have a confirmation checklist? Yeah, I mean, I do. All right, hold on. Or would you wait within the extreme of the leg, or would you consider the double bottom as the double bottom as the leg? All right, hold on. Which double bottom, bro? My bad. Yeah, I don't know what double bottom you're talking about, bro. But yeah, so like there's two ways to look at it. Like, for me, Yeah, I don't want to confuse anybody. Just this is how I'll say it. Like for me, I'm not 100% sure yet because of how everything has transpired here. So, you know, for all intents and purposes, I'm just going to sit back and watch it and then kind of go from there. Um, yeah. Let's see. Do I have confirmation checklist? Yeah. I mean, I got one in my head. I used to use one. Hold on. Here it is right here, bro. I used to use one back in the day. That's it right there. Yeah. Yeah. I'll copy it for you. That's my checklist, or at least it used to be. I mean, it still is. I still use every one of those. All right. Uh, at what point do you consider a break of structure being a break of structure? Um, well, I only have 3 time frames. I have a lower time frame, I have an intraday, and I have a higher time frame. Right. So for me, for me, this, oh, this is the lower time frame structure that I need broken. Why? Because this was the low. We had an accumulation, we had a reaccumulation, we had a distro. So no matter what time frame I look at it, right? I could be on the 1 hour. If I go to the 15-minute, same thing, right? This is still an accumulation into a reaccumulation into a distro. All of this is just one leg. You know, if I go to the 1 minute, I guarantee you it's going to look the same way, right? If I come over here and I look, I can't even put it in the perspective, but nothing about this tells me that we had an accumulation anywhere into a reaccumulation into a distro, right? We just came down. So it's all the same structure. That's why, like for me, this number right here, I don't care what that number is, because the 1 minute and the 4 hour, right? I could see where our lower time frame is. I can see where my intraday is, right? And I could see sometimes where the higher time frame. Sometimes you got to go way up high, you know, like to a daily to actually see it. Okay. Um, okay. Speaking of POIs, can you talk about inducement, particularly those just before? Uh, yeah, all an inducement is just think about it. It's essentially trapping buyers and sellers. That's all it is. You know, so you know, like on that, um, yeah, here, hold on. Like on EJ, right? What did EJ do? Right? EJ created our upthrust action during London, right? Here's London, upthrust action. So what's everyone thinking? Oh, look, break of structure. Nope. Bye-bye. Right? So here's your inducement. Here's your spring. Swept Asian lows, swept everything, all the liquidity, filled orders. And then what do? Now we break structure, right? Now we break structure. And ultimately, you know, I'm not really convinced about this right here. Well, one, I don't care about it because it's Asian. So, or it's going to be Asian. But yeah, that's all. That's just look at it from that perspective, right? It's just a way of trapping buyers and sellers. So yeah. Hey, bro, how you doing, man? How's that EN trade doing for you, bro? How's Albert, bro? You know, I haven't talked to Albert in a minute, man. I know he messaged me on Instagram not too long ago. IPA, yeah, there you go. Insufficient price action, yeah, imbalance. Got it. Thank you, thank you. Would you say it's possible? Wait, would you say it's possible they mitigated the sell off? The sell off. Yeah, I mean, it is possible. You know, how do I know? Because we'll do that, right? But honestly, this is what I want us to come back down into. So this is the key, right? So I don't think they've done that yet. Okay, shoot, am I caught up? Let's see. Cool, I'm caught up. Alrighty. So EJ, damn. All right. EJ, yeah. Yeah, like that 248 looks really nice. I like it, man. Full volume candle. I like it. Still the same point of interest is what I'm looking at. All right. Pretty clean. The key for me though is, you know, where do we do this, right? Well, we did it, you know, we did it in the extreme, right? We did it in the extreme. So, you know, realistically, you know, I don't know what, maybe like the 8-hour. Let me see. Maybe the 10-hour. I'm just gonna. Well, I don't need to spend too much time trying to find the candle. Yeah, we'll go back to like the 4-hour. So I mean, realistically, you know, they needed to come back into this push right here. You know, did they come into 50%? I mean, they're pretty damn close to it. You know, pretty damn close to it, I would say. Oh yeah, look at that, pretty damn close to it. Spring came right into the 50% of that push. So, you know, ultimately we're in a really good point of interest. IPA, yeah, imbalance. It's inefficient price action. So, the 248 specifically, because it's the full volume candle. You want to find the full volume candle because that way you can measure the correct. Like for me, you know, 1 pip. Well, shoot. I mean, how many of us have been on a trade that I'm looking at and we miss it by 1 pipette? Like every pipette counts. So, yeah. For me, you know, pretty clean. I know. Let's see. I know you had it marked up. Yeah, same thing. You know, just make sure that's a selling climax though. Yeah. Yep. And then I just labeled that my UA. That was a good inducement right there. That kind of trapped a lot of people. You know, and just going back, right? This is a great example, you know. So when we did this, you know, I don't know how many people were looking for buys, but I wouldn't be looking for a buy, you know. You know, for me, what I wanted to see was, you know, and you know, ultimately I kind of had in my, you know, I was looking at this area because we did have an accumulation. And we also had an accumulation here. This did a really good job of mitigating out of here. And I wonder if I still have the markup. Hold on. Because I actually took a trade out of there. And let me see. No, I didn't. Okay. So I think what was it, like the 4-minute? I think it was like the 4-minute. Anyway, so really nice accumulation. You can see we swept right in here, swept these lows, made a high. And this actually popped in here for me. And when we took this high up here, I went to break even, and then, you know, it broke me out at even. But I wouldn't take an entry now out of this to come back down because we can see that, you know, price is actually setting itself up pretty nicely. So for me, I'm not taking a limit order out of this due to the fact that it's just the risk to reward is going to be crappy. So instead, what I got is I've got an alert. If we come into this area right here, this is my main focal point. We come in here and get a schematic, preferably, you know, New York session, because I'll be awake. That's where I'm going to pull the trigger on. Okay. You're bullish on Euro Chef. Cool, man. Yeah. Euro Chef is one of 3 instruments I don't trade. So I want to say Euro Chef in the last 24 months has moved a total of 600 pips. Yeah, actually, stocks is where this was founded. You know, Richard Wyckoff was a stock trader. So yeah, and I'll tell you right now, it's easier to do with stocks because you can actually incorporate volume. So, and it's true volume because you know, on the stock side, they show you true volume. So yeah, absolutely. I do it all the time with stocks. So not so much, honestly, in the recent past, just because I haven't been doing a lot of trading on stocks. I've been doing mostly just you know, currencies, indices, commodities, and some crypto stuff. How do you account for the gaps in stocks? What do you mean, like account for it? It's just an imbalance. You know, mark it out as an imbalance. Yep. Bro, I just use stop hunts of previous high and lows, and it's easy. Okay, cool. That works, man. You know, absolutely. Just you know, yeah. If it works for you, it works for you, bro. Why isn't that a true break of structure on EJ? Wait. Why isn't that a true break of structure on EJ? What do you mean a true break of structure? Yeah, I don't know what you mean. Like for me, it's the break of structure here. This is my break of structure within the schematic. Why is it? Because here's our low. This was our previous low. You know, this was the previous low after that. So, yeah, if that makes sense. If you're talking about like why wasn't this the break of structure, because this is all just order flow, right? Like this here, right? This here was a was a boof, right? Break of order flow. That's all that was. It's not a, for me, it's not a structure break. You know, for me, the structure break would be right here. So this is the lower time frame, right? Because here's your leg to that, right? That's my structure break. Okay. This is what ultimately I want to do. And EJ, what's the targets on EJ? You know, if we can get this damn thing, I mean, I'll tell you right now, like I'm going to be partialing out pretty soon, but you know, obviously I want to get above this high, you know, I want to push it up higher, and I want to get into this weekly up here, right? That's where I want to get up to this weekly. All right. So, you know, I'm not bearish on EJ. I mean, just look at this, you know, we get a, you know, there you go. We were due for a pullback. You know, potentially we could still even come down into this area here before we go higher, but you know, eventually we're going to get up into this weekly supply. Oh man. All right, let's see. The 15-8 concept, but when do you decide when to use it? Confluence. So if you've gone through and you have a line here on the 80% and there's 47 different time frames and there's imbalance right in here, and you've got one, you know, 30-minute 50%, yeah, that 80% needs to start, you know, ringing at you. You know, sometimes it's an easy answer for me because the 50%, the stop loss is too big. So what I'll do is I'll wait for an accumulation in the 50%, and then obviously I'll have a limit off the 80. EJ, will you wait for a new high on? No. I'll tell you right now, like we come back down like this, and we get an accumulation here. Yeah, I'm taking the buy. For me, we broke structure. Not only did we break structure, we exited the trading range. So yeah. Basically, how do you recognize the schematic with gaps? Go to a line chart. It might be easier. You know, I mean, shoot, here, hold on. Let me just see. I honestly, I haven't traded stocks on TradingView in a minute, but let me see. What was the last one I traded? Was no video on here? Hold on. Okay, well, here, hold on. There you go. There's your reaccumulation. So hold on, where's my markup tool? I haven't looked at this in a minute, but all right. So distribution, right? 1, 2, 3 drives, right? I mean, technically you can even say 4, right? So your climax to AR to secondary test to up thrust to UTAD. UTAD does what? UTAD gives the MSAL, right? We have a reaccumulation here, and then what? Jump of the creek, break a structure. And, you know, if I was going to buy it, let's just, you know, spitball here. So damn, you know, 50% of the move. There you go. Not only does it 50% of the move, but it comes into the open of this reaccumulation here. So, you know, honestly, like I'm not margin trading stocks. So what I would have done in this case is entry here, you know, and obviously when we make that high, you know, I go to break even on it. Does that, I don't know if that makes sense. So, you know, obviously the gaps are there, but you know, I'll tell you right now, I'm not trading. I don't trade stocks from a 15-second time frame. I don't trade it from like a, you know, I would say that I stick on like the 1 hour and stuff. You know, I'm trying to think here. What was another one that I took? Was it this? Hold on. Oh, AMD maybe? Oh yeah, AMD. Here you go. So this was the one I took. This was a quick little day trade. I think it was like off the 15-minute, and then we'll get back to this shenanigans. So yeah. So like, you know, I was just doing a quick little day trade on it. You know, we had a reaccumulation. I don't remember what my play out of here was. Maybe like, you know, well, I can definitely see there's an accumulation in here. So, you know, we made the high. I knew we had some liquidity sitting up here, and when price came in here and did this accumulation, right? I got in here. you know, we definitely had a nice little break of the structure outside of the trading range. We come back, you could see the gap, we gapped back in, and then made the new high. So yeah, you know, and then, you know, from a volume perspective, you can see, yeah, you could see the volume. Hold on, let me see if I can get that out of the way. So in the schematic, right, from our climax to our AR into phase B, you want to see a decrease in volume. There it is. This is your preliminary support. How do I know? It's the most voluminous portion of the trade. So yeah, but that's, yeah, I don't want to get too crazy with the stock stuff. Yeah, but just know, like, it's definitely easier to trade Wyckoff with stocks than anything else. All right. All right, damn. All right, hold on. BTC, let's see. Thoughts on BTC? I got nothing on a BTC right now. I got an alert when we break structure, but I'm not reinvesting. I'm not putting any more money into BT. Well, I'm personally not going to be buying any more BTC for a very long time unless we come way low, just because I've taken my profits. You know, I'm in from down there at like 3,600. So I've taken the partials I wanted to take, but I'm keeping an eye on BTC because, you know, the way BTC goes, you know, everything else follows. So if we can get BTC back bullish, you know, we'll do it. You know, and I'll start looking at reinvesting some more stuff. I actually did buy some crypto this morning. We had some really good price action on stuff. So, all right. Damn. Okay. So when institutions induce the spring, what if the price does not come back to mitigate? Wouldn't they need to initiate mass amounts of orders to get back? Yep, absolutely. Yes. Yes, absolutely. So what you do, and it's not so much, remember, it's not one institution that's doing this, right? The whole reason why you have a schematic is because they're trying to test the waters, right? They're trying to entice other institutions or other traders to help. You know, they don't want to go in this alone. All right. So they're kind of like testing for interest. Yeah, what else don't I trade? I mean, I can't tell you the last time I traded AN, but yeah, Eurochef is definitely one that I don't trade. And Eurocad, me and Eurocad had a little disagreement. Trade stocks, I use Webull, Webull. And then I do TD Ameritrade for futures. Okay, so let's get back on task. So, all right, yeah, again, you know, I'll just be waiting right here. I got my alert. Actually, I got to move it up just a little bit there. Yeah. So I got my alert. Again, you know, I'm a New York trader, so my days of waking up early are gone. So hopefully when we get down in here, you know, it happens. And just keep in mind, like, you know, this is how long did this schematic take? So from preliminary support to current time, we're at 1 day, 15 hours. So this isn't something that's going to happen in the next 20 minutes. Right. Ideally, what I want to see is price needs to come down. You know, essentially, this took almost 4 hours to do. So potentially something like that, and then maybe another 2 hours to build the schematic out. All right. Do you look at currency indexes at all? Yeah, absolutely. Yep, right there. Right here, currency indexes. They're all there. Yeah, beginning of the week, that's what I go through. I always look at my currency indexes to see, you know, obviously if you guys are looking at currency indexes, you'll know that the Australian, the New Zealand, and the Canadian, right, are all bearish right now. And anybody know what the Australian, the New Zealand, and the Canadian all have in common? I'll give you a hint, right? So if we know that JPY, CHF, and gold, and of course the ultimate US dollar, are all safe havens, right? Right? We know that these are anti-per diems, right? Which are the opposite of safe havens. All right. So if anti-per diems are going bearish, that tells you from a fundamental standpoint that we're going to start to see a rally in the safe havens. Why do you think the dollar's rallying? Why do you think gold's going up? Why do you think JPY is going up? So from a fundamental standpoint, something's afoot, right? And we can see from like the 4-hour on JPY futures, right? Just look at that. We made that low, right? We broke structure here on the lower time frame, and we're kind of just doing what? We had an accumulation, we're mitigating out of that reaccumulation, we're mitigating out of that reaccumulation, mitigating out of that reaccumulation. So I'm curious to see if we're going to keep going higher. So that doesn't bode well extremely for some of the JPY crosses, because if this is bullish, EJ, GJ, NJ, UJ, all that stuff should be going down. But it's a matter of, okay, so we have, this is doing that, and then what's the Euro futures doing, So Euro futures, what I'm looking for is to see, are we going to react, essentially out of this area right here? We can definitely see that we had a massive area of demand, but we couldn't break. Now, what we did do was break some order flow, but we couldn't break the high. So, Euro needs to really start getting us to do that. And if it doesn't, it's going to bode not so well for EJ. But my EA is doing pretty well, because at least we're sideways. EA, I mean, that's what EA looks like. So EA is gunning, all day long. Here's EA. EA is coming down to here. I'm sorry, Australian futures is coming down to here. So yeah. All right. What about commodities? Like oil and metals? Yeah, obviously stuff with the lower spreads is the way I want to do it. Was the move this morning on ETH schematic? I did buy some ETH this morning, though. I'll tell you that it was a schematic. Yes, I did buy. I bought quite a few ETH coins from Ethereum. All right. Let's get back on track here. All right, so EN. All right, so much like EA, right? I am looking at EN as well. I am, oh, that dog, hold on. Okay, so on EN, now here's where we had a little comparative strength analysis between and divergence between EA and EN, right? On EA, if you remember, we didn't make this high from the reaccumulation. So you can see I've got an alert here. This is that shakeout that swept, essentially all of this. The only problem, right? Here's my only problem. So we did come, right? We did come nicely into this reaccumulation here, but that's Asian session, right? That is Asian session right there. So, ideally, I'm not a fan of it. We will see what ends up happening, but you can clearly see the distro that happened up here. So do we come here? Does this hold? I don't know. Obviously, if I start to see a schematic build in here, I'll go through my protocol of taking an entry. If I do not see a schematic, then I'm still holding out hope that we come into one of these 2 points, right? Because essentially, we're still being maintained structure-wise from down here. All of this is just a bunch of order flow. Okay. So EN, I'm definitely still looking for, for buys on it. Can you look at UJ? Yeah, if you got a UJ chart, throw it in and we'll take a look at it. I honestly haven't looked at UJ in a very long time, because we've just been so bullish and it's missed all of my buy areas that I wanted to buy out of. Oh, bro, don't even get me started. No, it was yeah, no, it wasn't the pig. It was not the pig. So EN, again, this is going to be, and I don't like this. Ideally, this is already a schematic. We have a distro, Creek, we have a schematic here. I just don't like it because it's Asian. But if London sweeps Asian and then we make that high, maybe we get the entry New York to go higher, right? That's ideally what I'd be looking at. Okay. All right. So that's EN, GA. So let's talk about GA, right? GA. So I took a buy at a GA and then took a big old fat break even on it. You could see the schematic right here where I was playing. The key was this was all Asian. And I knew it wasn't going to hold because this happened during Asian. This was London. So, as soon as I saw this nice reaction, I took it off of, let me see if it's still on there. I think it was like the 4-minute is what I took out. Hold on, let me go to the 4-minute. It came perfectly into the 4-minute. So yeah, there it is right there. So I took it out of the 4-minute, just had a lot of confluence out of that. And, it is what it is. Like, I protected the trade as much as I could. So we could see that we came in, tapped the 50 very nicely. And we also see that out of the entire move came into that 80. So it was one of those that, it tapped in there. I took it, and I really didn't have faith that it was going to hold. So now, and you just see this crap over here. I'm really not looking for GA until we get down here, right? This 1 hour candle right in here is where I'm looking. Why am I looking at that 1 hour candle? Well, there's a couple things. I'm looking for a schematic, but that 1 hour candle, 80% is really nice. The key is this, right? So we had this shakeout right here with some imbalance. And I think it was maybe like on the, I don't even know what time frame, but we had imbalance in here. We came into it really nicely. And if we look again, why do I hate Asian session? Because nothing in Asian ever lasts. So anybody who was buying through Asian got taken out right here. So this is your London open candle. We swept and we never came back, right? We never came back. And if we go, I really like this 2-minute. I was talking to Zach about this, but I like this 2-minute right here. Really clean reaccumulation. We really clean type 5 accumulation down here. So, ideally, this is the area I want to see us play out of. I got my alert sitting up here, but it's not enough for me to take a limit order, right? Because that doesn't, we don't have structure in this point. So what I am going to do is out of this reaccumulation, when we come down in there, that's where I'm going to look for my buy, right? It's pretty simple. I'll go ahead, wait for the buy out of this area here. Ultimately it's going to be anywhere from that reaccumulation, what's sitting around like 85,500 down to like 80. So that 50 pip range, if I start to see a schematic form, I'll go through there. All right, let's see how to break down candles to find confluence. Yeah, just watch any of the videos, but just jump on any of those videos on my YouTube. Like I break it down when I'm looking for an entry. I break it down how I'm looking at it. But essentially, you just want to find, here's an example, right? Like if this was a structure point, that's where I'd be looking to take an entry out of. And this 1 hour candle is the full volume. So 80%. And then just what lines up with that 80%, if we come down to let's see, I'll try to do this as quick as possible. So, just start working it out. Let's see. That imbalance right above it. Let's see. Let's go 20-minute. Let's go. And this is why I'm waiting for a schematic, because I couldn't find confluence in anything in there. Let's go 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, nothing so far. Nothing. No. Yeah, this is why. So the only thing I found was you could see in this 80%, you could see the imbalance sitting here on the 1-minute. And if we go, I guess I can delete this because we did get a schematic in there. Let's go like 30-second. Same imbalance. Let's go 15-second. Yeah, there's really not a lot of confluence that I can find, so that's why I'm waiting for the schematic. But if I see something else, I'll kind of walk you through why I did it. Yeah. It's streaming on YouTube, so it'll be up there. When you say you're a 50% trader, do you count break even? No. Break even's a win for me. Yep, break even's a win. Yeah. That's a whole level price 85. That's a whole level price even 80. Down here at 85. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, but we may not come down there because, 85 would be way here. So yeah, 85 would be right here. So I'm looking here. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah. So that's what I'm waiting on GA. All right. It's pretty, yeah, the last pair. The last pair. Okay. All right. Yeah. So GA is what I'm waiting on. We'll see how it plays out. Get this down here during Asian, even to London. I want to start, attacking in this area here. Keep in mind that we can come significantly lower. So because for me, if you just follow the intraday legs, right? I mean, we can see that, we impulsed, right? Came in here. Here's our leg. Actually, this is our leg here. Came in accumulation, right? Came into here, a distro, came mitigation here. This was just one ugly reaccumulation into another leg. So right now, this for me is what's maintaining our lower time frame, right? That's my lower time frame leg. This is the low that ultimately caused the break, and then all of this is what I mean. It's just order flow and potentially like a type 4 distribution, but there's no weakness in that. That's what I'm getting at. So could we come into this slingshot area here? Sure. Can we come into this area that's unmitigated? Absolutely. Into that accumulation, 100% we can. One thing is what I'm not looking for is I'm not going to try to sell this, because I mean, just look at the weekly candle, right? Right. Nothing from the weekly perspective, our schematics played out pretty nicely. I mean, remember way back in January where I was looking for buys down in here. I mean, we've rallied pretty good. I've been saying 185 for a very long time, and sure as can be, I wish I had held these positions. I just couldn't, but yeah, here's way back here in January 8th, all of these buys that I was able to catch in here. So is a leg like the markdown or up after the accumulation? Nah, the leg is just the structure leg. For me, highs and lows don't mean anything. It's all about leg structure, right? Every high and low is not a structure point. So, that's something that, definitely just start, I would say that's one thing where I learned structure improperly, right? So for me, all of this stuff in here is that, right? The only thing that matters is we had a leg low. Here's your previous high. Here's your next high. So this is the low. So at this point, this is what was maintaining structure. Well, when we made our new high, which is up here, you go to your previous low. And now the reason it's not this is the market changeover at 5 p.m. Eastern. And I don't trust that because there's flipping no orders in there, right? So I'm going off of this because if you go to other feeds, like if you go to FXCM, right, that feed isn't there, right? You could see here on FXCM, this is the low, right? This is the low. If you go over to, like, I don't know, capital.com, right? You could see this is the low. So Awanda's really turning into a crap. Awanda's turning into last year's FXCM. So I may be changing feeds on how I'm going to play it. I may go back to FXCM. So we'll see. All right. So that's GA. SPX. I know somebody was talking about SPX. Let's see. What was the question? The question you asked on SPX. Are you looking to play the buy on the reaccumulation on SPX? Are you talking about like this right here? This reaccumulation? I won't play that until we invalidate this distro. So, I mean, we're still bullish, like from the intraday perspective. From the intraday perspective, this right here is what's maintaining bullishness. From a lower time frame, we're bearish on the lower time frame because we broke that. But intraday, we're still bullish on it, and I need us to invalidate supply. So we have a distro up here. You can see I partialed out. I partialed out here. And my next partials is when we get up into this area right here. This is the last point of supply, out of this big old distro. So I actually may even work a hedge if we get something tomorrow morning. So, but yeah, the entry for me was pretty clean. Where is it? Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So entry was pretty clean. You know, we had the key here was this, right? This was the key. Nothing lasts in Asian session, right? Asian low. This is equity open at 9:30. We get that beautiful, beautiful sweep of the lows. And I mean, this is pretty much all I was doing. I was looking right here. So you come down to the 1 minute. If you don't have the seconds time frame, you could still see it. You know, here's your range, right? Your climax, your secondary test, your test in B, and your spring at 9:30. And then all I needed to do was just break that high. So, all right, enough. All I needed to do was that break that high. And then all I did, so I went down 15 second. Here it is. And I really couldn't find a candle. So all I did was I measured from this high down to this low. This was 50%. I knew going down, because I went all the way down to the 1 second, pretty even trading here. And where I put my stop loss was just below the 80% right here. So that was my entry. You can even see like on the 1 second, that was a type 1 schematic right here. So once I saw that kind of forming, I was pretty happy with it, and we took off from there. So, you know, it's sitting at I don't even know what it's sitting at right now. Hold on. It was like at a 1 to 9. It wasn't the greatest because the stop loss was pretty big. Stop loss was, you know, well, with my spread, it was like 4.4 pips or 4.4 points. So at the highest, I was at a 1 to 17. I took partials at 1 to 10 right in here. And, you know, you can see, there we go. You could see I'm just kind of holding what I have. You know, we'll see if this turns into a distro. How much capital do you risk per trade? If it meets all my confirmations, 1/4%. If it doesn't, you know, but it still meets criteria for entry, I do 1/8%. And then if it's just one of those that I'm swinging for the fences, you know, and we've had a couple of those, you know, I'll throw, you know, on my, you know, where I normally risk like $500, I'll throw like $50 at it, you know, because we've seen, what was that? We had like an AU buy that I threw $50 at that turned into almost like 10K. So, you know, you don't need to risk a lot. There was still the possibility of price coming lower into the accumulation, right? What do you mean? Like at the time on SPX down here? So once we did this, right? Obviously, like, you know how I trade it. So like once we did that, I reduced risk, you know, moved my stop loss to the low of this. And then, you know, obviously when we just started taking off, I just broke it even, you know. Could we come down lower now? No. At this point, that's mitigated for me, you know. Yeah. Do you see it coming down to the low that swept on NASDAQ? We'll take a look, man, but hold on. So right now, I'll tell you, like, if I was looking for SPX to do something, like I would have to look for an accumulation, like somewhere. Let's just see, hold on. So what is that? Let's go 90. Hold on. Let's go 90 minute for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go 90 minute. No. All right. So let's go 120. No, let's go 150. All right. 145, 135, 138, 39, getting closer. 140, 141, 142, 143. No, 144. I'm not going to spend too much time with it because I think I'm going to wait for a schematic anyway. So yeah, I'm just going to wait for a schematic. All right, so let's just go. Let's look at it from the 1 hour perspective. Let's go 30 minute. Okay, so realistically, here's my area that I need to see us come into. Right, it's going to be like this area right here. So for SPX, yeah, if we come into that area and I see a schematic, you know, I would play it. You know, but I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be very hesitant in doing it. You know, it's not going to be full risk, just like this entry wasn't full risk, because we have supply up here. I'm actually more interested. You can see I have my alert up here. When we get up into this area, if I see a distribution, I'll hedge the distribution down, and then we'll see, let the best man win. Wait, where was your break of structure to take off SPX? Break of structure was right here. Yep, there's your break of structure. All right, so low, previous low right here. Draw your TP. There's the high I needed broken. All right, so that was my break of structure within my schematic. All right, and did that spring go into no man's land? It did. The key was this, right? This was the key. The key was why did that spring, or the reason, right? Cause and effect, right? What did that spring do? That spring, that spring took the Asian lows, right? Don't drink the yellow snow, right? Don't trade in the yellow snow. Don't drink the yellow snow. Probably the best indicator I have right there. That's, it is what it is. Such a small percentage is mad, but I'm guessing because you take such tight stop losses, they get hit quite often. Yep. Yeah. Like I said, I lose 50% of my trades. Yep. I lose 50% of the trades. So I can deal with, is that a terminal shakeout? I wouldn't say it's a terminal shakeout, man. I mean, it wasn't that big. I mean, we've had some terminal shakeouts. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a terminal shakeout. So, yeah. All right. So that's SPX. I'm kind of just waiting on it. I was a little upset. So I actually split the risk on it because I had that entry off SPX. And like I said, on U30, I was doing the same thing. I had the same setup on U30 that I was looking at, and the bastard just didn't come back, man. I was so ticked off with it right there. It just never came back. I had the entry red F here out of the 50%. So, all right. So that's U30. All right. Let's see. OddCAD. What is OddCAD doing? Absolutely no. So I was actually looking at this, but we came in here way too late. We came in here like, towards the end of New York session. I was looking into this candle. And this is why I don't take trades at the end of the day. I am honestly, I'm waiting. Sessions on chart. That's what it's called. Sessions on chart. Sessions on chart right there. So, all right, cool. Yeah, at this point, I want to see what happens in here. If we can get an accumulation in here, maybe, but I like NZD CAD better, right? And I'll kind of walk through NZD CAD. So NZD CAD, here's NZD CAD. So higher time frame, right? Let's talk about higher time frame. Higher time frame, we came, and I know some people caught the extreme of this, right? This is that push, right? What do we have? Follow your market cycle, right? Here's your distro, reaccumulation, reaccumulation, and then ultimately this massive thing's an accumulation. But what do we get? We got a redistro into what? An accumulation, into what? A reaccumulation, into another reaccumulation, into what? A distro, right? That distro into what? Ultimately a redistro. And now we just have this massive accumulation. So market cycle, perfect, right? Like everything is super clean with this. And, when we look at it, you can see, we have plenty of drives. Like if you're looking, this is your schematic, right? Your climax to your AR, right? Obviously this is our UA. This is our secondary test, another secondary test, whether you want to say this is whatever, it doesn't matter. Like STB is one of these in here. And then what do we have? Our spring, right? Price does what? Price breaks the high, comes back to mitigate the spring, right? And, what do we come into? We come into at least 50% of it. And then from there, what do? We push up, reaccumulation. So we had ultimately the accumulation into what? A reaccumulation into a reaccumulation, and then we broke the UA, right? So, what I'm personally looking at is right here. I want us to come into this area here. Now, why do I want us to come into here? Because you don't drink the yellow water, right? Look at that. Look at all that yellow, 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 yellow. Well, that one doesn't matter, but, and what do we get? We get that spring, right? So out of that, you know, I'm looking in this 50 to 80 range is what I'm looking. All right. So when we get down here, this is what I want to buy out of, right? To make the new high. All right. It's pretty self-explanatory. This beautiful mitigation into here that made that high out of here, you know, so from a leg perspective, you know, we're just doing that. All right. So NZD CAD by far one of my best setups that I'm liking. So stupid that I have some problem identifying a type 1 accumulation and distribution. So you need a minimum of 3 drives and then a spring or a UTAD. I mean, that's essentially what it is, right? Yeah, that's essentially what it is. Okay. Let's see. All right, cool. What's that? Yeah, it's sessions on chart. That's what it's called. So, or are you talking about what like this one is? This is one that I created. It's not on the like the indicator list for some reason, but yeah, I just created it and it just has like the times and it'll put it in yellow. So, but sessions on chart is the same thing, you know. Yeah, and you can put in there like, you know, if I want London and New York in there as well, I do it. You know, I don't care about Sydney. So, all right, yeah. So that's ideally what I'm waiting for right here. Let this bad boy come on down. All right. The other ones I'm looking for are, okay, AJ. We'll talk about AJ. So AJ, okay. AJ's in an area of demand, right? We came into obviously this reaccumulation. Okay. Now we have broken structure, right? And we do have a distro, right? 1, 2, 3 drives. We do have a distro. All right. So AJ is not going to be a long-term trading, you know, thing for me. Now I'm going to definitely be working a hedge into distribution here. Like you could see, I tried, like I had this up here. I was looking for sells and we just didn't get it. So AJ, much like EJ, I mean, we got the same thing, right? So I actually, you know, line chart, I was talking myself into taking this trade, you know, if we came down during New York. So now I don't have to worry about line chart. I can just do break of structure. You know, and ultimately, again, yeah, I'm looking at, I wonder, is it the 238 or 248 as well? I didn't look at AJ. Oh yeah, look, 248 as well, bro. So yeah, and actually that's pretty close to, what's the 90 look like? Yeah, I like the 248, I think, better on it. Hold on. It'd be a lower stop loss. So this is 80% of the 248. All right, let's see. Let's see what we can find. All right, 80% of the 248. I just want to see. Let's see. Nope. Let's go 90. All right, let's go 75, 60, 45. All right, so wait a minute. So 46, 44, 42, 40, 35, 30. Come on, give me something. You know what? Hold on. Was that 90 in that balance? Hold on. I think that's why I like the 90. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. So this is 80%. Does that line up with the imbalance? No, it doesn't. Not. But it did line up obviously with the 30% or the 30-minute candle. Let's see. Nope. Oh, there it is right there. That's what I was looking at. So out of that 15, where that 90 is, it got that imbalance. Let's see. 12 minute, look at that imbalance on the 12, it's present. Let's go, let's walk it down. Let's see. Is there confluence on that 248? So far, none. Nothing on that 248, but that 90 is where that I think that's what I was pretty happy with. Not only that, but we have so this is a reaccumulation in here, right? So obviously this is the last push down. This mitigates the open of it. If we go like 15-second. Yeah, this is that 90 minutes. So in here, yeah, I think I'm still going to wait for a schematic in this area. All the JPYs, I'm going to wait for a schematic. So, you know, when we get down into this area here, so this was 80% of the 90 minute. Okay. Yeah. The 45. What about the 45? Yeah. I mean, but for me, I'm looking at that 90 minute. Yeah, I'm looking at that 90 minute. Yeah, still no confluence between any of it. No, I mean 50% of that 31 though lines up. You know, the only problem is we're talking a 19 pip stop loss. So yeah. I'll tell you, like I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for a schematic. You know, I can't justify using up margin, especially on a JPY cross that I'm using, you know, 7% margin. I can't do it. So, you know, we come down, maybe we do some shenanigans like this. Asian, London does that, you know, something like that, you know, obviously look a little cleaner, but that's what I'm looking at. Okay. Yep. Okay, cool. So that's AJ, you know, that's what I'm looking at. Let's see. Can you explain margin? Okay, in a nutshell. So you have leverage, right? So for every $1, your broker is going to give you whatever, you know, some brokers give you 500, some, you know, so you're getting your available leverage, which is your margin, is $500 for every dollar that you have of equity. In the US, because I have a Wanda, I have a 1 to 50 leverage. So for every $1 of equity, I have 50 times that in buying power, right? That's essentially what it is. So when you're dealing with margin, if, you know, and let me see if, hold on, let me see if they still have a Wanda margin requirements. So every currency has different, yeah, here we go, hold on. So for me, you know, let's just say, here, we're going to do AJ, right? And I know AJ is going to be a high margin because it's not a major. Where's AJ? So AJ, all right. And we have I have a 1 to 50 and margin available, right? So let's just say I have a 100K account, right? A 100K account. All right. That tells me that this is the available number of units, the maximum available units that I have, right? So essentially what it's telling me, and it's in percentages, right? So I could tell you, I know for a fact that AJ is 7% margin. So I am using 7% of my available equity per standard lot. Okay. And all that means is, you know, like on a 1 to 50, because I'm taking such a tight entry on stop losses, I can only really have, you know, at most, maybe like 4 positions open. That's why I partial out very often, because if I could partial out, it gives me available margin. So, you know, if you have a 1 to 500, you ain't got much to worry about, you know, but because I have 1 to 50, yeah, you know, I know like FTMO just came out with that weekend holdover thing, but that's a 1 to 30, man. You know, I mean, you're especially taking entries like this, you're going to be limiting yourself to like 1 or 2 entries. So, thoughts on GCAD? Bro, GCAD's another one that's been sideways for a very long time. I'll get to it. Let me get through here, and then I'm not really looking at anything on CADJ. CADJ did come into that 80% of the 6 minute that I had way over here. Now here's the discrepancy, right? CADJ on Awanda has has traded below the previous low. But if you can come over to like forex.com, you can see here's the low. We did not trade. Actually, I think, hold on. We did not trade below that low, right? So there's discrepancy, and I checked it on my brokers and it did not trade below. So CAD-J is kind of going to be in limbo for me. Like I'm not too convinced. You can kind of see I was looking at this reaccumulation right here. Hold on, do I have it marked out? Yeah. So we have a reaccumulation in here. But I'm not convinced yet on what I want to do with CAD-J. So Awanda is fake. Bro, yeah, I mean, and I'll tell you right now, like, so I use Awanda's, I used to use it on TradingView, right? Where you can just log into Awanda through your trading panel over here. Where is it? Right here. Instead, I don't do that anymore because the actual price action is different. So I actually log into my Awanda, charting software, and that's what I use. Yeah, man, have a good one. Later, bro. Yeah, so CAD-J, I'm not looking. EU, I'm not looking at either, man. EU, I mean, I've been trying to sell EU for I don't know. Like I was trying to sell it out of here, So I'm not letting EU do anything right now. I've got this 5-minute down here that may get a bounce from, but I'm kind of keeping GU at a waist at arm's length distance. Nothing on GJ. I'm really not with GJ, you could see like what I wanted to see. I wanted us to respect this, and we didn't. We took out all of this, right? So for me, GJ's broken some major intraday structure. All right. And there is a little bit of divergence between GJ and GU because I use GJ and GU as comparable strength, right? So like if we come, let me just hide all the drawings. Let's go up to a 4-hour. Okay. So from a 4-hour perspective, okay. So from a 4-hour perspective, we've broken everything, right? We've taken this low here. We're at least, and we have broken this here, but we haven't taken out this reaccumulation, which is ultimately what is maintaining this leg. On GJ, we did make a new high. It's undisputed. This was the new high. So, there's a little bit of divergence that I'm seeing on there, and I'm just going to let it sit straight. I'm not going to do much with it. GN, same thing. Like GN, this is still what's maintaining structure, so I'm not really worrying about it. GU, GU played out of that area I already talked about. I'm waiting to see what we do up here. Talked about NCAD, UCAD. So let's talk about UCAD here. Hold on. It didn't trade below the low and made equal lows instead. Any accumulation above it is likely. Wait, if it didn't trade below the low, right? But we broke structure. So structure for me is absolutely, ultimate thing. So it's the end all be all. Which one is the laggard? Is that what you're talking about, or the leader? So because we're at the top end of the range, right? So because we're at the top end of the range, the leader is the one that broke. So GJ is the leader. GU is the laggard. Yeah. Yep. So yeah. So UCAD, like UCAD, I took a small loss this week on that. I was willing to take that. I didn't mind that at all. And you can kind of just see what we've been doing. Accumulation, reaccumulation. So where I'm looking on UCAD is obviously out of the most recent reaccumulation. This is where I'm looking right here. So, and actually, where's my charts? Hold on. So I posted this the other day. Where's she at? Here we go. is it? There we go. Okay, cool. Hold on, bear with me. I just got I'm pulling up my charts out of my journal. All right. Cool. Okay. So on UCAD, this is what I'm waiting on right here. So we have that one, and where's my 15-second? 15-second. Where are you at? Come on. All right, got this one here. All right. So yeah, UCAD, I'm waiting right here. This is where I'm waiting. Why am I waiting right here? Because let me zoom in because you may not be able to see the yellow. Because this swept all of these Asian lows. So, we had a clean reaccumulation. This is the shakeout. And if we just go lower time frame, right? Go to the 15-minute. So train your eye. So this, whoever asked me about terminal shakeout, this is your terminal shakeout, right? So you come down to the 1 minute and here's your schematic, right? What it looks like is, let's go 15-second. So there's your schematic, right? This is the candle. I'm looking at this 15-second candle right here. And I got my eye set on 80%. Why am I looking at 80%? So, we could see clearly that actually, let me just go over to FXCM. All right. So, bam. And let's just go down here. There you go. All right. So, all right, there we go. So clean schematic, right? Beautiful trading range coming in. This is New York session. We sweep the Asian lows and 80% is where I'm looking. 80% of this 15-second candle. Well, why? Because on the 5-second, look where that imbalance is sitting right here. So, this is where I want to play. I think it's like an 8 pip stop, if I remember, 9 pip stop. All right. That's our terminal shakeout. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. And we never come back to mitigate it. Price never comes back. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Yeah. But this is ultimately our reaccumulation. All right. And that's how I want to play it. I want to play it out of there. Let's see. Which one of your Mike, are you? No, I'm not on GJ, bro. EJ and AJ are the ones I'm looking at. Matt, take a look at AJ. AJ is definitely, I think, probably the better one, and so is EJ. Why am I looking in this area? Yeah, hopefully that answered it for you, man. So this is the reaccumulation. So, this is what's maintaining the bullish order flow leg, right? So if we're going to maintain bullishness, so right now we broke in, some pretty significant structure. We're bullish across the board here. The only thing that we're bearish on the higher time frame, but it's from way the heck up there. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at it out of this area right here. So when we get down into this area, that's where I'm going to be looking, not really anywhere else after that. Yeah. So and then. Yeah, I'll throw them in there, man. 1.256256. Yep, yeah, man. See my alert? My alert's right there. So I've got to there's got to be some pretty type 1 schematic though for me to get into it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I've got it is a really nice reaccumulation in there. So you could see I was doing some work on it. Again, right? Like what happened? So distribution, redistro. Well, what is that? Is that an Asian price action that gets swept? That is Asian price action gets swept. And then distribution turns into what? Reaccumulation. This is where I kind of just stopped watching because I figured we were just going to go higher. Reaccumulation and then so forth, So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, like this area here has been mitigated. We came into, more than 50%. this area mitigates this point here. So I'm specifically looking at this accumulation right in here. So, that's why my alert's up here. Because if we come into like this 2590 area, that's what I'm looking at. How to add the session colors. Yeah. So when you got I think I do this like every week too. So the first thing I do is I always activate high and lows. Just make sure the times are correct. I don't remember if they were or not. I don't care about Sydney session, right? So I got these three checked. And then the only thing I care about is plots background. So the first one is Sydney, right? Then what we have is, for me, I put red, and then just change the opacity. You can do whatever. Like if you want to make it, lower or darker, whatever you want, it's up to you. But yeah, that's all I do. So the first one is this one here is Asian session. This is New York. I'm sorry, London, New York, and Asian, and that's it. And like I said, I don't care about Sydney session, so I don't have it checked. All right. And then like I really don't care about London or New York. Other than because I know they happen before and after the yellow box. So if it's in the yellow box, I don't trade it. Yeah, you got it, man. You got it. So yeah, realistically, like I said, I mean, we come into this area here. This is what I want to play, right? This is what I want to play. And you know what? Actually, hold on. Where I was looking, I think it was Euro NZD. Hold on. Because I know somebody always asks me about. Somebody always asks me about. Was it Euro NZD? Man, I don't remember what it was now. Or maybe was it NZD CAD? Oh, dude, I don't know. It was something on the higher time frame, and it was crazy how we came into 80% of it. Yeah, I don't remember. If I remember it, I'll throw it out there. But yeah, okay. And then the last thing is UChef. So there's a couple things, right? Like you could clearly see this nice accumulation down here, right? Really nice accumulation, tons of imbalance, right? And it looks like we're starting to distribute, right? I mean, here's your climax, here's your test, potentially getting our third drive here. I was a little ticked because I was looking for a buy out of this. Where's my markings? Out of this accumulation in here. Yeah. I was looking for a buy out of this accumulation to get us up to that next area. And then when we came in here, this was New York session. This actually gave a really, really clean type 1 schematic, and it just never filled me. Yeah. Here's your type 1, right? Really super clean. Boom, spring. This is why I took it off of the 50% of the 3-minute, which was 80%, right? So we had the 80% of the 6-minute, which was also 50% of the 3-minute, So, and of course we had imbalance. So it met all my criteria to take the trade. It was a little 3.5 pip stop. I'd be sitting, I don't know, pretty nice on it right now. I think it'd be like at a 1 to 20 something. But we just never got it, and stupid. So at this point, it could still come back because we have made a new high, right? We have made a new high. And that's why I got the alerts here. So, but I'm keeping my eye on you, Chef. I think we may get a pull down on it. You can kind of see like my thought process on it. We had a clean distro, we had a redistro. So supply is sitting here, could we come up higher? We could, I'm just kind of keeping my eyes on, on what's going on, and we'll see what happens. So ideally, I mean, that's pretty much everything I'm looking at. I will say this. So crypto, when did I send this out? I threw this out there yesterday. So I liked Dash, right? Hold on. I like Dash for some buys, and I'm only realistically, I've only been exchange trading it. I haven't been margin trading it. And so this is what I sent out yesterday to a bunch of people. I was looking at Dash on it. It was really the only thing that and Ethereum is what I bought. So we were looking, this is where I first got into Dash out of this accumulation, and we definitely came into some demand. Um, and then of course yesterday we had this really nice spring with, a sign of strength. So this is kind of what I was looking at. Really nice play out of it. We got the boof. So, obviously measured the spring. I wanted 50 or 80 of it is where I was going to start buying. And, sure enough, where's Dash? Dash on the, what is it, like the 1 hour? Yeah, there we go. So we came right into the 50. It was beautiful. So I got in today. I didn't get the 80 filled, but whatever. I still have some really good, some orders that, what's the that's sitting in there. And I think at some point I was up like maybe 30%. So it's sitting at, what was it at? No, I guess not 30. Maybe it was 20. Hold on. There we go. So almost 20%. Yeah, it was at 18%. We got a little pullback, but it's sitting at 8%, which is still pretty good. And obviously I'm looking to take Dash, up into this area here. So it was a really nice little play. Ultimately, if I can get up to all-time highs, that's a 300% increase. So, no. FTMO, no, FTMO. Well, does it? It may. I don't know. I don't trade. FTMO spreads for crypto are horrible. I think yeah, no, they're horrible. So I don't trade on my prop firm accounts. I don't trade crypto, so let's see. Can you run through how you see structure on gold? Bro, structures like, let's see. I haven't looked at gold in a minute, but hold on. Let's see. Structure on gold. I'm getting lost on order flow versus structure. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, I like U-Shift too, bro. It's just, I think I got to be patient with it. All right. So obviously, we have this push here. So all of this on that higher time frame is just order flow, right? But higher time frame order flow is structure on a lower time frame. So did we come in? I mean, all day long, you should be able to see that distro, right? And did that distro ultimately violate? And this here was just order flow, right? That's just order flow. So the key is this: what do we do here? We did what? We invalidated demand, right? This was a reaccumulation. This was a reaccumulation. So I think I talked about it last week. Like if I was a betting man, I would say that we are going to come into this area here, if not this area here. It doesn't have to come in right away though, but I'll tell you, like, I see gold coming down, right? I see gold coming down. Hold on. What do I got on this other one here? Let me just see. Let's see. Yeah, I was really pissed, man, because I wanted it to come into here. Yeah. All right. So let's see. So what time frame? You talking about, like lower time frame structure? Because I mean, we're still bearish on the higher time frame, and I mean, realistically, we are. I mean, this all is just. I'll tell you right now, this all is just order flow. There's no structure in that whatsoever. I can tell you that when we invalidated this and we invalidated this by trading below it, I'm pretty safe in saying that we are going to get something. This is just a complex pullback. We're going to probably get into this, or we're probably going to get into that and then get another leg down. So Yuri has a bullish bias on gold. That distros liquidity for the POI in January and February. That distro is liquidity. Hold on. You talking about this distro here? Yes. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it could be, because like I said, I want to sell it from here, right? That's where I want to sell it from, because this is what's maintaining structure, but I mean, realistically, this is your leg, right? I mean, this is all like lower time frame legs in here. I think the better view is going to be, let me see what I got marked off here. Hold on. How about this was that sell. This was that sell, man. That's 1 to 100 on it. Let me see, hold on. Yeah, I mean, this right here is what's maintaining structure right now. So I guess the question would be, why did they distribute here? You know, for me, I mean, it's not liquidity. It's, I mean, it's now this distribution, again, cause and effect, right? This distribution needs to invalidate some, you know, demand essentially, right? It's got to show me that sellers are in control. Did it invalidate demand? The answer is yes, right? Has it broken structure? No. Does that mean that if we come into here, I'm just going to set a limit? No, because this is not structure, right? All of this is just order flow. So, you know, if we do come into this area, I have to see a distribution to play it. I can't play a limit order like I did here, you know, when we came into that area over there. So, I mean, I honestly haven't touched gold in a minute because ever since this buy, right? Ever since that buy, and I think, I mean, you could see like all the plays that we were doing in here, and then you could see the reaccumulation. Once we reaccumulated and reaccumulated, just never came back. And look at this reaccumulation, never came back to mitigate. I gave up on gold, you know, because I could see what was going on. Um, you know, so yeah, this was, you know, it really was unfortunate. You know, but yeah, and again, you know, what do you compare? What's the comparative analysis of gold? It's silver, right? Well, all right, so let's look at gold from a weekly standpoint. This chart's going to be horrible to do it. So let's look at gold, or yeah, let's look at gold from a weekly standpoint, right? So from a weekly, right, we could see the accumulation happening down here, right? We could see the reaccumulation that happened up here. So we did make an all-time high out of this. You know, why would it be out of character to see this come down, you know, to mitigate, you know, what, you know, who else needs to mitigate something down there? Yeah, right. This, you know, this. So, you know, I mean, if I could see silver coming down, yeah, if I could see silver coming down, why can't I see gold coming down? You know, so yeah. All right, cool. You're on the small time frame. All right. Well, that's your first problem. You're on the small time frame. I'll tell you right now, like, I know you guys see me playing on the small time frame, but damn, like I really don't play on the small time frame. Like unless we're in a point of interest, I'm not on the small time frame. So let's see, hold on. Yeah, this is all order flow. So like if we're looking, I'll tell you right now, like if I run through lower time frame structure, right? Let's just play it out, right? So we know, let's just look at it, right? So we know this is a reaccumulation. We know this is a reaccumulation. So we know we pop in this high and then we pop in this high, right? Okay. So this is lower time frame structure, right? That lower time frame structure gets invalidated, right? So now this is maintaining lower time frame structure, right? Out of this distribution, we push in here, okay? So hold on, does that ever change? So at this point, this is still maintaining lower time frame, right? We have a accumulation. We do not have, you know, okay, so yeah, this is still maintaining lower time frame. Nothing has changed about that. Yeah, all of this, right? All of this, you know, here, I'll throw this out there because, you know, it's been a couple of weeks since I've done it. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Where is it? Oh, wait, hold on. It's not on, it's on the anchor text. Here we go. Yep. There we go. Right. So, you know, none of this is structure, because if it is structure, then okay. So if this makes this low, then when you break here, right, you're looking at buys, right? Okay. And then when we make this high right here, then you're looking at buys out of here. And then you're making this high and you're looking at buys out of here. All order flow, right? Nothing of this, because let me ask you, can price come down to here and still go higher? Absolutely, right? All order flow, right? That's all that is. So, no. Yeah, yeah. Wait a minute. Wouldn't that take a long time? What would take a long time? The drop? Absolutely, it'll take a long time. Sure enough, man. Shoot, how long was I in that gold cell? I was in that gold cell for like 3.5 months. So yeah. Yep. Um, yeah, for me, we're still being maintained lower time frame from this distribution up here. This distribution is what caused this. Um, so yeah, we're lower time frame, we're this, intraday we're this, higher time frame we're that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if Yuri's, I haven't talked to Yuri in a minute. I know he got hurt, but I don't know if Yuri's looking at his bias from a higher time frame perspective. But I mean, I totally agree that this means nothing yet, right? This distribution, all it's done, cause and effect wise, it's invalidated demand. So out of here, sellers are attempting control, right? So, can this turn into a redistro? Yeah. You know how quick it can turn into a redistro? Boom, redistro, right? There you go. It's turned into a redistro. So, it's for me, market cycle is still playing out. But yeah, no trade for me on it. So, um, let's see. I've been taking each buy you just showed. I need to up my time frames. Yeah, I mean, and listen, you can listen. I'm not saying don't. If it works for you, great. My journal told me over the last 3 years that I was taking unnecessary risk out of order flow. So, and out of that, I'm not going to play it. So it's just something I don't like to play order flow. Those of you guys that know, like when we talk about trades and we backtest stuff, every time that I've taken a damn loss, right, 9 times out of 10 in my journal, I always write the same notes. Stupid order flow. Why did even though it was light risk, I still played out of order flow. So I've learned that I just follow structure. Follow the structure points. Keep in mind who is in charge. Find supply and demand, who's controlling it, cause and effect. What's it done? And then go from there. So awesome. And that's about it. Damn. So we've been on here 2 hours, not too bad. So any questions? Anything else you guys wanted to cover? Oh, I think somebody wanted like GCAD, right? So hold on. GCAD, bro. I can tell you I haven't looked at GCAD in a minute. The last time I looked at GCAD, I almost puked because the thing was sideways for like 3 months. So let's just see. Let's just see. Oh, nothing's changed. GCAD is still sideways for, I don't know, since March. No, since December. We have been sideways. We have been in a relatively 1,000 pip range for for that long. So yeah, no, I'll tell you right now, there's nothing I want to do with GCAD. Can you post a 30-minute video on how you backtest? On how I back? No, like 30-minute video ain't gonna happen. I could tell you right now, like when I do a backtest, I mean, heck, those are shoot. I mean, I don't know. Some of you guys are on here when we do a backtest. What is it, like a 3-hour video? So yeah. Yeah, no. That's going to take way too long, unfortunately, man. So, can you go over AutoCAD? I went over AutoCAD, I thought. Yeah, I did go over AutoCAD. I'm waiting now for us to get down into this area. Oh, hold on. I'm waiting for us to get down in here. This is what I want to see, because NCAD's got to come lower, right? NCAD's got to come lower. So by default, I want AutoCAD to come lower. So, yeah, GCAD is good for retail traders. Can you look at EG? Do you expect it to return? EG? No, EG. I think EG went that broke that high. I know we broke like lower time frame, and I think we broke. We haven't broken. Hold on, let's see. Where is EG? So, we haven't broken intraday yet, but we've broken lower time frame. So, the weekly institutional candle. No, we did. We came into the open of it, right? We came into the open. Actually, there was a really badass trade in here. So I don't remember. I don't know if I can get that low. Hold on. What was this? This was, damn, I can't get that low. I don't think so. There was a, you know what? Do I have it? Hold on. Let me see. Do I have EGs? There was a freaking awesome buy in there. Desktop charts. EG. Let me see. So this was March 9th, or I'm sorry, April 9th. April 9th. I'm just going to open my journal real quick. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Here you go. Here you go. All right. So this was what? This is price point 86, like 47, right? 86.47. And so here's out of my journal. Hold on. 86.47. So there it is. So no, wait, did I do it wrong? Hold on. Wait a minute. Am I looking in the right spot? Give me a second. Hold on. 84. That's what it was. 84.70. So this right in here, 84.70, right? That's the buy. The buy was in there. This is what tapped the weekly candle. You can't look at it anymore. I think we covered it back in like April when this happened. But so here it is on the 15-second, and it tapped. So it was 80% of the 1 minute, 50% of the 15-second. It was a 0.5 pip stop loss on EG. So really clean schematic. Hold on, where am I at? There it is on the 30-second. So it was a 5 pip, but with the spread, the spread was 1 pip, so it cut it down. If it was raw spread, if I didn't have it to where it went, it would have been a 1 to 445, which is stupid. But yeah, this is what it looks like. I mean, again, clear schematic, really clean inside. This taps the weekly candle. So yeah, there's the break of structure. Yeah, break of structure. And let's see, wait, where's the entry? Okay, and there's the entry. So hold on. Yeah, there's the entry. So we get the break of structure. Price ends up coming into our 50%. And I think what happened was, I think we just split it. We split it 50 and 80. Because I think this came in like pre-New York. You could see the break of structure. So you could see this was the entry. Here's the 80%, 0.5 pip stop, right? We make a new high. And then what we did was we measured 50% of the 10-minute, which was also 50% of the 4-minute. And this was the entry with a stop loss at the bottom here. And boom, just took off. So yeah, hold on. Let me just see if there's yeah, and then this was the hedge way up there. So yeah, that was the hedge. Yeah, but it was ridiculous. I don't even want to know what the R to R would be right now on it, because it definitely took its yeah. What a yeah, it is what it is. But so anyhow, I don't think we're gonna come back to it. Yeah, you could see. Oh, actually, look, I still have it all marked out over there. Still have it all. I just don't know if it I don't know. Yeah, oh there. Oh, why didn't it show up before? Yeah, there's the whole markings. So I mean, damn, I don't even know. What are we at? I don't want to know. I don't want to know what this would have been. This would have been, so that's the 80. So out of the spring 0.5, and we're currently at what price point? 86.40. Oh wait, 0.8640. 0.8640. So where it's currently sitting at right now, it'd be at a 1 to 335 out of the first entry, and I guess the second entry would be this. There you go. That was a 1.5 pip stop. And it'd be 0.8641. So this would be at 1 to 111. So yeah, it is what it is. What journal app is this? No, that's just my screenshots from my journal. So I use Excel for my journal. Can you clarify structure versus order flow entries? What do you mean, Eric? Like, can you give an example, quick refresh of a structure versus order flow entry example? So yeah, like if we come, well, here, I'll just draw it out, man. Hold on. It might be easier. Now we don't have to search for it. So let's just say this, right? Okay. Structure. This is structure. We make a new high. Now this is structure. Okay. So for me, when price comes back into our point of interest here, all right. You know, it's and let's just say hypothetically, worst best case scenario, we build a schematic. So for this, because this is structure, I could put full risk out of this accumulation, right? Or let's just say I'm going to take it, you know, let's just say this was an entire reaccumulation and I can put a limit order that meets all of our qualifications, you know, all right, so I'm going to do that. An order flow to entry would be this, right? If we get, you know, structure, so this is now what's maintaining structure, we come down, we mitigate, but now we do this, right? So let's say that this is a reaccumulation, okay? And I'm going to play out of here. This is not structure, right? So this is where I would use a reduced risk, and I would be a little more selective about taking the trade. Does that kind of make sense? Okay, so structure essentially a schematic in the extreme of a lower time frame. Yes, correct. Exactly. Yes. Yep. Now, and it doesn't necessarily, after this, it doesn't necessarily need to be in the extreme, right? Because, you know, like, hold on, let's give an example, right? Did EA come? Where did EA come? So, okay, here's a great example, right? So EA, right? EA, when we were looking at EA, obviously this maintained lower time frame because of this break, right? But this is the slingshot. So when we came into that schematic, I was still able to put full volume or full risk because why? Because it's a slingshot, right? It's still what the cause of that break, you know. Now this one here, right? When that Friday, when we took this Friday entry, right? This Friday entry out of, what is it, like the 1 minute? Yeah, this Friday entry out of this reaccumulation, not structure, right? None of this is structure. This is all order flow. So this is why this was a reduced risk. Like in the chat that morning when I said, hey, I'm taking, you know, I know a couple of people grabbed it. You know, I had said I'm putting reduced risk because this is just order flow. You know, it was still pretty highly probable and I liked where we were at, you know, but, you know, it still was dependent on, you know, order flow and not structure. Okay. Does it mean what is structure on the intraday could be order flow in the higher time? Yes. Yeah, it could be. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. So, so if order flow is taking a schematic out of an area that hasn't caused any new higher, so order flow is taking a schematic out of an area that hasn't caused any new high or low. So right, exactly. Hasn't caused a new high to create structure. So yes, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so I'll tell you, like GCAT, I'm not nothing with GCAT. G-Chef, yeah, I gave up on G-Chef a little bit ago. G-Chef, what's G-Chef done? Yeah, it's a redistribution. So if you're looking for sells, you're on the right spot. Yeah, man, I still kick myself for this one right up here, man. Can you imagine if we would have caught this? Can you imagine? That distro was clean as crap, man. This distro right here. It pisses me off, you know, and then even that distro, like I was trying to catch that distro in there. Clean distro. what was this? The 6 hour. Yeah, look at that 6 hour, man. The 6 hour, the 4 hour, the 3 hour. Yeah, man. I wish we would have caught that. That would have been a nice little sell. Yeah, G Chef, if you're looking for sells, yeah, you're looking in the right spot. You know, I would definitely we just made a new low. You know, we broke intraday, so bearish intraday, bearish lower time frame. And at this point, you know, we just made a new low here. And you know, all day long, you can see, you know, we had coming out of not only the redistribution, but you had a distro, right? We had a distro, we had a redistribution, right? We had a distribution here. So this is where I'd be looking for sells, you know, I'd be looking for sells. And this whole thing is just a massive redistribution. So yeah, I'd be looking for sells, you know, somewhere in here. I mean, shoot, let's just real quick. What you know, like I just keep saying this till I'm blue in the face, but can we pay attention to the yellow boxes? What happens? All these people that were selling here, taken out. All these people taken here, taken out. How about these people here, taken out, and then here, taken out. So this is your distro though. This is your UTAD. Really clean distro. Yeah, this is a super clean distro. I guarantee you this mitigated perfectly. Actually, here, hold on. Let's look. Let's look. Does this? So, let's see. Let's see. What are we talking here? Like, here, I'll just spitball it. Hold on. Yeah, that's why I do the 80%. You know, so you measure the move, right? This is the move ultimately that caused the UTAD, right? So here's your trading range, right? Your climax to your AR, your ST. Ultimately, you know, you can say, you know, whatever is in here is your UT, you know, something in here, and then your UTAD, right? 3 drives, you get the MSAL, break of structure. This obviously comes up, but doesn't do what? Doesn't break any structure, right? Doesn't make a new low. Ultimately, this is a distribution on its own, right? You know, ultimately, what do you have? You have your 1, 2, 3 drives, and then a UTAD, right? What's the UTAD do? UTAD, you never break structure out of this, right? So UTAD finally breaks. So I would be looking, what's that 2 hour look like? Was that 2 hour mitigated? Look at that 2 hour. Yeah, that 2 hours where it's at. Let's see. Yeah, 2 hour never got mitigated. Hold on. Did it get 50%? No. Yeah, I'd be looking in this 2 hour. That's where I'd be looking. Actually, let's see. Hold on. Let's go 30 minute. 30 minute. Does it? Oh, yeah, it does. It does. Man, this may have been the mitigation of it. It's going to be hard to tell. I mean, either way, I wouldn't be the stop loss on it's going to be massive. So I wouldn't be playing. I mean, you're talking. I mean, it's just to the 80%, it's 15 pips. To the 50, it's 30. So, but I'd be playing out of this 2 hour candle right here. That's what I'd be playing out of. Something in there. So, 27,400, 27,400. Yeah, but what's the reason to come up there? You know, like I mean, yeah, it'd be a great stop loss. You know, I mean, you're talking like a 4 pip stop, but what's the reason for price to come all the way up there? You know, I don't know if there was there a distribution in there? No. I mean, no. No. Well, I mean, maybe there's a nah. I mean, it's an ugly distro, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's gonna be tough. I would, if you're going to set it, I don't know if price will go up there. I don't know if price will go up there. And ideally, I mean, this right here was the mitigation. So, I would honestly, what I would do, I'd set an alert here and just watch price action in this area here. So I took a sell on GC. Hold on. You took a sell on GC. When did you take this sell? So off the 30-minute, you took it out of what? 27.41. Okay. So, you got filled on it then, right? So 27.41. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. If this is where you caught it, it was a good job, man. Gonna head out soon. All right, man. Have a good one. I'll see you in the morning, bro. Why would price return there if there's already been, it wouldn't. Yeah. That's why I'm saying like it potentially, there's no reason, not every imbalance has to get filled, right? Like this imbalance up here doesn't have to get filled if this was the mitigation of it, so yeah, that's going to be, that's the only tough thing, so yeah. Good eye on it, man. That was a good little play out of it. So did you go off of like, would you do the 80% of it? Yeah, looks like you did the 80%. So cool job, man. Oh shoot. Yeah. So, all right, there you go, bro. That was G Chef. And I think I'm done, man. I think that's about it. So yeah, I would honestly, I'd be looking at it here. I'd set the alert like in here. And just see, potentially out of this, because the test, right? Because that's essentially what that is. The test of the spring has not been mitigated. So like if we get into that price action, let's just see. Yeah, I mean, I'd set an alert right here at like 26,850, and this is going to be the target. That's the focus, So if it can ultimately, if it can come in there, actually, no, wait, I take it back, because it goes higher than that, right? Hold on. Yeah, it goes higher than that. Give me a second. Oh no. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's the area. That's the area I would play. It looks like the 5-minute order block gang would have won, man. Okay, you guys see that 5-minute order block? I'm sure somebody took that off that 5-minute order block. No. 4.2 pip stop. Yeah. No. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So that's the area I'd be looking at, but I'd be, obviously sells are in order, I mean, we just, hold on. We've just been really, there's no question about it. Supplies and control. So definitely. I mean, and, target wise, I mean, listen, this freaking area of demand right in here, that's the target. So you've got some room to go. All right. So that's it. I mean, that's pretty much everything I was looking at, hopefully everybody kind of grabs some stuff out of it. Awesome. Yeah. So, other than that, like I said, it's only Tuesday, for me, Thursday, Fridays are my big days. So, I'll drop AJ and I'll drop that EJ in the Discord. I'm opening up Discord right now, so hold on. Yeah, I'll drop it right now. Give me a second. Hold on. Oh, all right, let me go. Where is it? AJ. It was like 15-minute. Yeah. There we go. So I'll drop that. Cool. Awesome, guys. That works. And yeah, man, listen, enjoy. Thanks for everything. I'll catch you guys later, man. Have